give you access to a lot of things. People don't really listen. People just want to talk. And we need to start listening. And that is so important. And number two is, if we listen enough, we are going to reason properly. When a man listens enough, he will reason accordingly. And number three, when you reason right, you communicate properly. And when I listen, I reason, then I communicate right. And number four, I will now connect correctly. So these four factors will make us have, or forces will make us live life simple. You listen, you reason, you communicate, and then you connect. And this is what we are lacking today in our community. And I pray that we start building our minds towards these four channels of peace.
What a way to start. How to make your life simple and also easy. Listen, reason, communicate, and this is very, very important. Now we're going to start off this episode with a couple of questions that we have received over the week and at the course of the weekend. Many from some pastors, some in people with people in relationships, and one who is having a very seemingly difficult time in his career and is asking for direction for navigation. We're going to be treating that, and please don't forget you could send in your questions at the comment section of whatever platform you're watching, except for those watching via the Honor TV and YouTube. On YouTube, you can also send your questions via the comment section. We will get them at the course of this episode. Now, the very first question, we're going to start with relationships before we move into career and also ministry. Now, the first one says, "Good morning, Bishop. I think I am now an addicted lover of your page because what I see is very inspiring. But sir, please, I'm having a major challenge in my relationship. Sir, please, what will be your counsel to people who are in love but face strong family and societal opposition?"
We should try to know the reasons why we get involved with things. I have always said that a lot of people don't know why they're involved with people. We just get involved because life circumstance had just brought us together. So when you are in that kind of scenario, pressure can take the best part of you. So why am I involved with someone? That has to be studied. Is it something I should fight for? If I decide today to go against my family, to go against people I love, is it something I should fight for? Because if it is not something for you to fight for, don't accept that kind of relationship that will make you go against everybody that has once stood by your life. As a matter of fact, there are some persons you should be pleading to accept that relationship, who are genuinely telling you reasons why you should not be there. But there are some who will do it out of self-interest, which to me I don't buy it. But if it is God's will and character issues that somebody has identified and tells you, you get out of there now that it's early for you, you should listen. But if it's from one's self perspective of, I don't like the village, the city where the person comes from, doesn't make any sense. I don't like the family name, doesn't make any sense. Those things don't make sense. But there must be a directed reasons why you should look into a relationship and say, this cannot be. But outside that, there is now has to be personal. If I decide to go away from these people, I hope this will not be a loss because of this person. So, do you have that awareness to know that the person you're trying to fight for is worth it? That's the most important question, number one. Does the person worth that fight? If the person worth the fight, why not? After reviewing everything, why not? But if the person does not want the fight, there's no need for that. Better stay and have your peace and live your life than going into a circle where you have a problem, you don't know who to call because the person begins to use that against you at one time. So I've always told people that learn to have somebody in your life who your partner will respect for the sake of your own sanity is very important. So let's be careful how it's in two forms now I'm trying to treat. Why are they not supposed to be together? The reasons must be stated. If it is city issues like where they are from, it's not necessary. Family name, not important. But if it's an issue of God's direction and character reasons, they shouldn't be together. Because these are the two things that makes anything work. And if you don't have God's spirit, you don't have character, there's no need staying there. And also your faith in God. So these three things, if the person has it, the person does not have it, then you have to be out of that life. And then if you do all of this and somebody is saying that you must leave, so the question you should be asking, if I now go against all these people, is it worth it to stand for this person? Tomorrow, if I have a crisis with this,
Hello and good morning. It's another exciting week. It's amazing. Tell your friends and your family that Gospel Manager is live. Share the link to your friends and the groups that you belong to. Let them know that they could send in their questions. God's servant is here, God's servant is ready, and God's servant has come prepared for your questions, dishing out God's indispensable wisdom to you. Now remember, wherever you're streaming from, if you're on social media, on Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube, you could send in your questions at the comment section. But if you're streaming via Honor TV, please note that you could send in your questions via mail or via WhatsApp text. The mail is thegospelmanager@gmail.com. And then the text is +234 9073 533019. I take that again, +234 9043 533019. You could send in your questions and we'll be sure to take them. I am not alone as usual. God's servant, our hero, our mentor, I call him personally the Lion of Africa, is live in the studio, and I'm going to leave the floor for him to give his opening remarks and set the course for this episode. Good morning and welcome, Dad.
morning, how are you?
Thank you, sir.
God's expectation is for people to be well informed. And I've always desired to see that people are well informed, to aid them in fulfilling their life path. So I pray that this morning we shall add to that. In Jesus' name.
Amen. All right, so this morning we're starting off our question from the career section. And this is from Ruth from Lagos. She said, "Good morning, sir. I've been watching Gospel Manager for the past 2 weeks now, and I just want to ask a question that had been burning in my mind. Deep down within me, I have been struggling in choosing the right career choice for my life. I am good in so many things. I currently work in a microfinance bank somewhere around maybe in Lagos, but I don't have this satisfaction. I know there's more to me. Before now, I was sewing, and whilst I was in school, I was doing catering, which was what I used to finish up my school and support myself. But I can't really find peace. Please, sir, I want to ask, how can one know the right career path to follow in life?"
The other day I was trying to go through an attitude, and I discovered that people don't take time to listen. So because we don't take time to listen, we don't also take time to behave. So listening is so powerful that we must give ourselves to enough of listening. It is at the expense of you listening correctly that direction will be found. So careers are not fought for. The privileges that life gives to you has already created a life path for you. The thing is, you developing a pattern and passion for it. I keep saying people are looking for discoveries of potential. I've always said it, and I keep saying it. Anything that God gives you at a time to do, you need to do two things. Put passion and dedication and compassion compassion for people, passion for what you are doing, and then grow it into dedication, and it will progress. And if it is not your pattern, as you do that well, the next thing that leads to what you need to do will open up itself. There was no dreaming does not fulfill destiny. Joseph dreamt, got into a sector, worked as a chef and a home manager, grew from there, become a manager of prison, then become a prime minister. So let's just take the samples of Joseph and make our discoveries from there.
Thank you so much, sir. All right, we'll move over to the next question. And this one is saying, good morning, sir. My name is Mrs. Kiemi. My question would be on how to handle a man who always stays out late. My husband is fond of young girls, and he has openly told me in several encounters that there's nothing I could do about it. My parents are asking me to pull out, but I just don't want to because of the shame of being divorced and also for the sake of my kids. So, sir, how do I handle a cheating husband?
You see, lately I've been trying to know how people were raised. When I see somebody from the age of 20 to 40, 45, 50, who does not have a sense of value for consideration connecting to life. You know, this idea that I'm a fellow of myself is the reason why people misbehave. When you consider that you need to build life impactfully, you will no more see yourself in the picture anymore. The woman needs to understand that that's a failed man. The consciousness of saying it and doing it is a sign that the guy does not have the patterns of an excellent manhood. You know, men think talking and feeding and controlling makes you a man. It makes you a boy. A man takes responsibility, no doubt. A man does not control. A man influences. And a man disciplines. For her part, now that she knows the attraction, she should create that attraction around the house. You know, we complain more about what is distracting people, but we don't create the attraction around them. You know the distraction now, but create your own attraction to kill that distraction playing around the man's life. And you don't want to lose the home, so create the attraction that will keep that man, instead of going out every day, and make him stay at home with you. Nothing comes to you, you have to go to it. Attraction is built, not wished. It's not talked, it is built. If you keep making your atmosphere look ordinary, look unattractive, those things will keep growing around a man's life. So create the attraction. And you know, I have always advised people, we complain too much. We argue too much. And these are the two things that is ruining. We behave stupidly. And we are too self-centered people. These are the things ruining our homes, ruining organizations, ruining churches, ruining our nation, ruining our states. Because people don't want to be broad in their expectations, to be broad in their thinking. So now that you know the problem is half solved, create the attraction around that house. What are the things causing that distraction? She rightly said is young girls. Be young in your home now. Create that thing that is creating that distraction for the man in the home, because you will not get that distraction go off if you are the one creating it and he's using that outside as the anchor to survive. No, create the attraction inside and make sure you kill the night walk and you kill the ladies distraction, because it can be solved if the woman wants to solve it. But for the man, maturity is a gift that everybody must grow to have. You mature your mind to know what to say, how to say it, when to say it, how to behave, when to behave it. It is not because you are old, it's because you have a sense of value for yourself and for the future. People don't talk and behave well. And I try to know what is in their mind. They don't have the weight of knowledge to behave well. So I just want to believe that people should pay more attention to details than their emotions, more attention to details than what their eye sees, more attention to details than what their emotions tells them, more attention to details than what they hear from people. Study, observe. Don't be in a hurry to act or take decisions or speak, because this is where we all make all the mistakes we make. So if that can be applied, it will help the family.
Thank you so much, sir. All right, we'll move over to the question from Mary Ann from Asaba. She says, "Good morning, Pastor. My question this morning would be on the area of relationships and courtships. First of all, I would like to ask, is there any specific time that one is expected to be in courtship? And if no, how long can one tentatively court before deciding to marry? And then the next question is, I'm currently in a relationship that ought to lead to marriage, but I have stalled it for several months because I told the boy that if he doesn't work on his weaknesses, I am not going to say yes or carry on with the marriage. He has this weakness that he talks before he thinks. I have cautioned him several times. Sometimes I have bared it, but I told him and his family, if this is not worked on, I will not deal with it because I am not prepared to go through all those stress during marriage. So at this point, I really like him, but I just want him to know that he ought to be a man using his head before he uses his mouth. How can I help him overcome this weakness? Or if it cannot be overcome, I think I'll just have to call a stop to it.
Pain is an achievement. When you are seeing the end of a thing, take decisions that will help you solve them. If the young man is not healthy enough, I have always said that maturity is the timing of marriage, not age. Maturity is the timing of marriage. Are you mature enough to have healthy conversations with somebody and you are passing knowledge to the person? Not just all these childish behaviors I see. People are just too many kids is even married. Too many children in marriage. Too many children trying to get married. Children. And because of not being able to mature our minds to have conversations that will help, is affecting the productions of familyhood. A lot of families are having crisis because of that. How can a man talk before he thinks? You are supposed to have the privilege of caring for children, fending for their bills, and you talk before you think. That's already a failed marriage. Because the man is not supposed to even be in that kind of frame where he talks before he thinks, or he acts before he thinks. Then he begins to apologize. They made a mistake. He didn't know. He is sorry. You are supposed to be the one acting last, reviewing events, putting a woman under control, making her behave well. You are supposed to be the one doing that. And the woman is the one trying to comport you. And then you have to be grateful to that kind of a lady in your life. And making sure, if the man is here, making sure she does not leave you. Because you are the one that is going to have a lot of crisis in the future. If that lady cannot help you, you're already in a problem. But my advice to that woman is very simple. If she already sees pain, she should get out of the pain. Nobody prays to go through crisis. But if God has privileged to show you that you will go through crisis, because the person around you does not want to understand. It's like a woman who shouts at a boy that is not married to him yet, and she says it's because of love. That's rubbish to me as long as I'm concerned. You have to listen. What are you shouting for? What are you shouting? What is the shout for? Let's have conversations. What are you frowning for? Above it, ask, why is the woman frowning? Why are you frowning? Why are you showing attitude? Why? Let us have conversations. If you don't understand the thing, have conversations about them. Don't just imagine that is what it is. And I hate that kind of life. Let's have conversation. Get the details of the thing before you start harboring notions in your mind and start acting anyhow. Because that shows your level of maturity in life. It shows to me as an individual, it tells me this person is not mature enough. And my conversation level with you will change because you are always trying to confront. You're always trying to attack. What is all of this is for? I'm supposed to be your husband or your wife. What is the attack and confront for? Let's have conversations. Let's ask healthy questions. And let's get the answers to those questions when they are asked. Let us improve our conversations from one. We were talking like this before. Let's go to start talking this way. Let's go to talking this way because we have improved. We have known ourselves for 10 years before trying to get married. And we have not been able to sit down, get angry, solve it, and laugh. What kind of humans are that? So you need to know, we get angry, we solve it, we laugh, we plan. So when people are not mature enough to handle the sudden pressure that knowing the person brings, because attitude, this thing about attitude that has to do with the effects of people's behavior have to be checked by people themselves and stop giving excuses that is who you are. That is not who you are. Because the more you keep behaving like that, you are ruining people's relationship in your life. And one day they will get tired of you. And when people start getting tired of you, they will neglect you. Because the more you act, the more it's affecting people's life. And people don't know that their actions have repercussions attached to it. So we must be careful as we treat our issues connecting to marriage. You already know that this guy is not changing. Love has nothing to do with peace. It is wisdom that gives you peace, not love.
Thank you so much, sir. So we'll move on to the question from Mr. Bernard Amokri. He's saying, good morning, sir. My question would be, I have seen this lady who my heart longs for. Her character is impeccable. I have made my findings about her. But my challenge now is that she has two other persons who are also speaking to her about marriage. I have not spoken to her, but I want to ask, would there be a right approach, or how can I really approach her that would not seem like the other two people who...
You know, one of the easiest things to do is to talk. People just talk. I love you. Will you marry me? I don't. Your positioning as a man is more important than what you say. When a man is not positioned correctly, he will not be able to attract a woman into his life. In a community of people, how you conduct yourself is already an attraction. How you conduct yourself is already an attraction. So conducting is more important than even talking. People will wish for you to say something to them because of the way you conduct yourself. Human conducting is our problem. It's not the talking. If he wants to marry that girl, then he should conduct himself first. The girl will gain access to attraction, then seek for attention. And then with the day he speaks, she will accept. Nobody distracts what you need. If there are too many things to buy, you know what to buy yourself, no matter how confused you are. So the girl knows what she wants. But conducting is the problem. One of the things I've grown myself into is human management. Manage yourself. Some young men don't manage themselves. They are just not be. I see some of them, I just wonder, why would a woman love this kind of man? There's no need to love this kind of person. It's not coordinated. Can behave anyhow, can talk anyhow, can dress anyhow, can eat anyhow, can even shout in public. Everything bad. A young man is doing it, and it's not good for marriage. The modeling for fatherhood is very poor. It's very poor today. A man is heady. I keep wondering why a man should be stubborn. But a man is not. A man should be disciplined, responsible, conducted, good looking, smart, not too crowded, self-impartitive. That's a man. That's how a man should look. So when you don't have all those traces, a man is corny, a man is a liar. All kind of things. How can you be that kind of life? But when people hear that I was useful at 12, it's not conditions that put me there. It's a nature that put me there, not condition. Not that my father and mother pushed me into. No, it is a nature that put me there. So if we want to do anything, manhood must be readdressed. That guy should position himself, and he'll be admired. Admiration comes first. And then the day he makes his approach, they will say yes. And those competitors around that girl will give up because he has placed himself. He has patterned himself. So he will struggle to get anything done. But if he has not, he will just be sending text messages and say, let's talk. All of those, even at midnight, let's talk. Let's go to a quiet place. Those are idiots. Young men who don't have sense. Young men who don't have value for themselves do that. I've never done that before in my life. I've never pursued a woman before. No. But I know how to pattern myself for everything I want in my life. So you must learn it because it's a culture that will rebrand how we even treat women ourselves. So this community of not only the person asking the question is everywhere. A man will just get up and go and sit where a woman is. Even in an office space, disturbing the woman. What for? Why are you doing that? It shows how limited we have become. Leave a lady to that. I once said on the altar, I said, if we will allow women to do their job and don't threaten them for intimacy, they will be the best gifts we have. But everybody is threatened by the appearance of a woman. I don't know why. I can't still answer why. That is a problem. So,
thank you so much, sir. So position yourself and then he could make your approach rightly. I will take this question from Tracy Daniels. She said, what's the best approach when a coworker provides misleading information about others to our boss and to everyone around the system, and your boss starts acting in that way towards you?
The word is boss. If that is a boss, if that's truly a boss, but that person is not a boss, you don't take informations that way and act on them. You are heading an entire company, so you should know that self-centeredness must be a part of it. People who want to sell themselves unnecessarily. So you must not take people sell it serious, but understudy to get proper information and know who is lying and who is telling the truth. But me, you can't do that to me. I know who is lying because I see you every day. I may not have conversations with you, but I see you walk. I see how you act. I see the reports that I receive about you. I can tell if this guy is truthful or he's a liar. So even when somebody offends you and you act and you try to escalate it, I know that you are trying to hurt people's life. Something that you would have ignored. You want to make it look as if it's the person's problem, because you are always looking for how people's image will be put to fault. So all of that are the mannerism people bring into the office. But the boss himself is the problem. You don't listen to workers. You observe workers. So when they come to you, you know what to tell them. Whether the person is your best worker, the person is not your best friend. You are a best worker, but you're not a best friend. So when you are wrong, when I hear a boss is standing, the worker is shouting, and you are quiet. No shout for what? If you try that around me, you will not like what will happen to you. Because you don't have a sense of value for yourself. In workplace, if you strive, shout, gossip, all those things that please, you are an irresponsible human being. So the boss needs to put that in order and stop being a friend. Let the boss be the boss and handle information from his level and make sure he doesn't destroy the work.
Okay, sir. And the same person is asking again, said, please, sir, do you listen to your own co-workers? It's not at the boss level now, your co-workers there.
I don't listen. The office is structured. There are leaders heading people. So I have daily reports and monthly reports, so I know what people are doing. So I don't need to call you and ask you what is happening. I don't do that. It's not, it's wrong. Ask the people you put in office what they do to what you give them. I don't ask people those questions because I didn't give you assignment. I gave a leader to you to work with. That leader is responsible to that space. So he's accountable to the people's life and actions. So that's how I operate.
Thank you so much, sir. All right, so we'll move over to a question from Mrs. Shuaibo. I believe I got that right. Say, good morning, sir. My husband currently resides in Canada, and he called a few months ago and was talking to me about the new approach we're going to raise our kids for 2025. And he's asked me to ensure that each of our children will learn a new skill, and that which he wants to invest in them for 2025. So my question would be, sir, I have 4 boys. The youngest is 11 and the eldest is 20. So how do I know what particular skill to engage them with concerning our preparations for 2025?
The kids are there with Anna, so she should be able to have conversations with them and observe traces around their lives. So it's conversations and traces. She will be able to discover that. Have conversations, check the traces they have, and that can be easily discovered.
Thank you so much, sir. All right, this is another question. It says, good morning, sir. I have been blessed by your counsel and teachings, and I believe you have the best advice for me at this time. I am a 29-year-old lady. I am wholly dedicated to God's work, and I give my time to church as it should be. I have I have had some relationships that didn't last because they seem to have an issue with my dedication to church, especially in this social media wokenness era. I have not wasted time to cut off such people very politely because the last thing I want is chaos in my life. I really need my peace. I have also had some recent approaches that haven't worked out because of this. Sir, I have made a decision that I might eventually remain single if I don't see anyone who understands my decision and join me serve the Lord, but I really want to know, sir. Please, is there a chance that I might be going this the wrong way?
I will not be here to gain access to direction because I don't know how she's approaching the people who are coming to her life. What she's trying to say is a godly foundation as a picture. That's the problem. I want to correct that. Your godly foundation can never be a problem, because in God there is fear, in God there is love, in God there is character, and those are the things anybody should see and love. Anybody who comes to you and knows that you serve God should pick interest in you serving God, or else she's getting the people outside the church. Because if they are within the frames of the church, they should be able to understand, and that's what she represents. So she should repattern her mind where those men are coming from. If they are outside the box of the church, then that's going to be a problem. But if they are within the walls of the church, they should know that she's a Christian, and they should know what she believes and respect that. And for her saying that she may, that is a conversation of a child. She should pattern her mind to tell herself that what she wants, she will get in her space of lifetime. And because our desires are strong pulls to interventions in life.
So, just to take this conversation further, maybe I try to look at the perspective she's coming from. Whether these men are from outside the church or within the church, probably she has a standard, not necessarily a high standard, but she wants someone who will join her serving God and even pushing her to improve in her service to God. But she doesn't want distractions, because there are some people who will tell you that you only go to church this day and this day, and for her that may not be what she wants. So she wants someone who will be comfortable with her giving her time to God and in her service to church. So if she doesn't find such one, will it be wrong to wait until then, or to just have a point? Because for someone like me, who is privileged to be in ministry, I don't expect to marry a wife who does not believe in the God and in the church I worship, whether she is in the church or outside the church. And if I don't find that one, I don't think I'm interested in it. So would that be also a kind of childish approach? Or
desire is a very powerful thing. Your desire is stronger than your prayer life. So if you have a desire, not a standard, a desire to have somebody who will allow you to serve the Lord. Some people have standard. It must be prayer warrior, it must be this, it must be that. That does not work anymore. Desire to have a decent person who fears the Lord. And then the bottom line is fearing God. And then as long as the person fears God, he will allow you to serve God. It's not a personal thing. Fears the Lord. If I fear God, the way I behave will change. The way I talk will change. The bottom line here is fearing God. And people don't fear God. That's the problem. If you fear God, there will not be a challenge. If I was not a pastor, my family will not have issues going to church, because I grew my life around the frames of God. And I don't see anything that will take my children or my wife out of that. So the fellow fears God. Because if he fears God, there will be no problem. So the criteria should be fearing God. Not even anything, just fear God. He fears God. He has godliness in his inside. He knows that God is the supreme of his life. And he knows the values of serving him. Because these people are terrible human beings. They can be very churchy. And when they get married, they become like enemies. I've seen a lot of them distracting people's life, honestly. So genuinely, they just have to fear God. The moment they fear God, it's easier for the person. Some of them are just going to church, they don't fear God. So you see them behave. Sometimes I'm even shocked the way people talk and behave. They don't have a sign of God inside of them. These people are not Christians. Somebody is living in a kind of hurt, and you ask the person, he's so offended, she's offended. I keep asking myself, are these people born again? Is this person a Christian? Because this is not a life of a child of God. Somebody is living under a terrible circumstances with a lot of notions in his inside, and is ready to defend it. The Bible they read, I don't know if they read it, because to me, that's not the life of a child of God. That's not the life of a Christian. So the problem is that people just carry the clothing of church, but they don't fear God. So if she can achieve the victory of identifying who fears God, every other thing has been handled. 100% taken care of. She will serve God, she will do it because the person fears God. But today, I don't know what's wrong with people. I don't know, no matter what they hear, no matter what they are taught, no matter how you instruct, no matter how you correct, no matter how you even punish, they still are bent to ruin their lives. They are bent to destroy their lives. Because that's the end of a man who does not want to listen to anybody. Or a young lady who is not discovering the things she has to discover around a man. Some people are discovering money, discover height, discover face, discover the things they see and not the things they are supposed to see. It's like I keep using it. The guy that got married a few days ago. What he sees in a woman, and he got married. And both of them. You may give them a standard that is, maybe they are local. Or that's what you want to say. But that guy and that lady will be so peaceful in their home. Because there is respect. There's the fear of God between both of them. Because those are the things you need in marriage. The fear of God and respect. Finish. Not gift, not love. Fear for God and respect for yourselves. Even when you are hot, even when you are angry, even when you are sad, there is fear of God and respect. You can't go before the governor of the state and begin to shout, no matter how angry you are. Will you do that, young man? The governor of the state, because you're angry, start shouting before him. Will you do that? No. You will know where you are and comport yourself and go outside and get crazy. So let's treat our discovery of spouses and those who are even married like that in our marriages. You will discover that even when there's a room for crisis, it will be discussed. And you will now begin to know why you got married. Not because of this. You got married because this guy fears God and he has respect for me. And I'm not abusing that thing that he gave me. Both parties have to play their role. So when you don't go into marriage with this picture, and then we are sure to have crisis. So fear God is the first criteria for marriage. And number two, respect for yourselves. Respect whoever you want to stay with. Whether it's an illiterate or educated, respect the person. You that went to school, no problem. But some connection has brought you together. So fear for God and respect yourselves. Whether in public or in your private time, respect yourselves. And then you will have peace in marriage for the rest of your life.
Thank you so much, sir. This will be a good way to invite you, especially for our wine conference happening this Sunday, the 17th of November 2024. God's servant is going to be teaching us about the Jesus dream for youths and singles. I believe that all of this he has mentioned and so much more will be discussed in his sermon. So you don't want to miss it from wherever you are streaming from. Please hook up at 7:30 a.m. this Sunday. Remember, is the Jesus Dreams for Youth and Single. It's going to be an amazing time. You will not regret it. All right, so we'll move over to the next question. And this question is from Mr. Isaac. And he's saying, good morning, sir. I would love to ask this question. And the question is, how do I deal with my insufficiencies? Because I have tried the best I can, but I still have complaints when I call my wife genuinely, and sometimes my children, to tell me something they don't like about me that they wish I could change. I give a free will to them and I'm open for corrections, but then I noticed that one particular thing had been recurring in all of them, and that is my temper. These I have tried the best I could to deal with, and I believe it runs in my family because the same thing runs within my brothers and my kid sister. So sir, please, how do I deal with this insufficiency?
Getting his kids involved in that kind of conversation is not right. If it is his wife, I'm okay with it. The children should be protected from that. And two, whatever is inherited can only be solved by a knowledge from the Bible. So let him pay more attention to scriptures on anger. The Bible says an angry man is a foolish man. So he starts telling himself that I'm a foolish man. Accept that you're a foolish man when you're angry, because angry people are foolish people. Solomon said an angry man is a foolish man. Solomon also said an angry man depart from me, separate yourself from an angry man. So when you start telling him, say, I'm foolish, I'm stupid, I no get sense. I'm not saying somebody said it. He's saying it to himself every day. It will kill the anger. Because the greatest teacher is when you tell yourself the truth. Not when somebody tells you, sat down and review your life and say, I'm really messing up. And answer the questions of your stupidity. You become your greatest teacher. My father had anger issues. I had as a growing up man. But I have managed mine because you can't lead people with temper. You will destroy what you are building. You will bring people and use your temper to scatter them. That's the bottom line. So you will bring people as a leader and use temper and ruin their lives. And as a pastor now, you'll be saying things to them that will be affecting them in the realm of the spirit. So instead of getting the best out of people, you're getting the worst out of them because of the way you talk to people. So you should understand that I went through that process. I understood it. So I developed a certain level of calmness for myself. So it is that calmness now that has made me have the access to know how to approach matters when I get into them. So he can handle that by first telling himself that he's foolish for having hot temper. And when he starts doing that and he starts learning, creating the needed environment that will not give that thing energy to come alive. And then the wife must understand that she has to play a major role in solving that thing too. By not punching things she's not supposed to punch. Because if he doesn't die, it will ruin the future of his children. Causes. And you know, we don't consider tomorrow. Everybody's fighting for now. But there's a tomorrow. There's a 20 years of your life. And you must pay more attention to your future than your today. So the only way to solve anger is to admit you have it and admit that you are stupid for getting angry like that. There is no reason for somebody to get up publicly and speak anyhow. There's no reason for it. It shows you are not polished. It shows you are a native person. It shows you are not trained. And it shows you don't have somebody who controls your life. There's no reason for that. You can get angry. But don't get angry to a level where it becomes a problem to you. Anger is not a problem. But when anger becomes a problem, it's a problem. Get angry with things you don't like. You can talk about them. You can discuss it. I don't like these things. And I don't want to see them again. But don't turn it into a problem that is scattering your marriage, scattering your career, scattering your image. Everybody around you is suffering because of your anger issues. And that's now your own problem. Your wife is having issues with you, your children, in your place of work, colleagues, everybody around you is having issues with you. Everybody, they ask questions, they say, no, that one, I can't stand him. I can't stand her. They come to your office, some people are avoiding you because you have anger issues. They just literally don't want to even get close to you because they know you have anger issues. Your wife is avoiding you because of that. Your children, no. You are killing your own future. When you will need people, nobody will be there for you. And then you will be regretting. You will say, why now? What happened? Why? Baby, you created it. You created that kind of atmosphere for yourself. So it's better you start working on it now. That life is friendly. And you must create a friendly atmosphere for yourself. Nobody will live alone in this life. We may be born alone and die alone. But in our process of life, we don't live alone. We grow up with people, we stay with people. That's how life was formed. There was Adam and Eve. It was not Adam alone, Adam and Eve. So but Adam was created alone. I was born alone. But I will grow up meeting people. Process that makes my life. So let's be conscious about relationships around us. Because it's more important than the prayers you pray and the monies you have.
Thank you so much, sir. I would want to ask a question because quite recently I had the privilege of following you for a speaking engagement. And whilst on the way to the church, we passed two sections of a gathering of women who were, I believe it was a street evangelism. And then one of our senior pastors also noted that there was no single man or boy there, just women. And so the question I would want to ask is, how do we go back to Bible days, not discriminating any gender, but how do we go back to Bible days where we had men actively in service to God? As a matter of fact, God spoke to men more than even women. But in today's world, we have more women, even more zealous for God, burning for God than even the men. So how do we correct this, especially in these trying times?
It's a behavioral thing. It has nothing to do with God. It's an attitude issue here that has crept into life. And the interest to do things that pleases an invisible being. Women like attractions a lot. So the woman will want to try what is attractive. The man wants to try what is visible. So it's an attitude issue. And then the attitude issue has been allowed to grow from childhood. A boy stays in the house. He does not go to the kitchen. He only washes car. And they start telling him that he's a man at 8. So when you tell a child he's a man at 8, what do you expect him to do when he becomes an adult? That's where the problem is. It's not really church. It's that mentality that I'm a man. And I hate that word. And I see a lot of married men do it. They tell their wives that they are the men. I don't understand that kind of stupid life. You are the man. Who wants to know that? Yeah, manhood is not confession. Is an expression of quality. If I have my way, if I was God, some people would be women. But they are not men. But I cannot. I'm held by him. Because your approach to an issue is more important than how you feel. I feel a kind. But I'm a man, I should know how to approach it. You understand me? So we have started dealing with these issues long ago. He's a man. He's a man. He's a man. He's a man. He is free to go out. We are not bothered if a man goes out. But we are bothered when a girl goes out. because we are afraid that she will have issues. We are not concerned when the boy makes certain statements. If a girl makes this statement, they say she's a lady. So the problem is empowering a young boy who is supposed to be learning earlier in his life. He becomes like a father when he's a boy, and when he becomes a father, because he was not trained to be a father as a child, the notion that tomorrow you'll be a father. He was given the liberty of dependence, but not a father. So he grows to become a father, and then I tell him that he's going to church. The pastor said he sees the pastor as a man, and he's challenged that the man is telling him what to do. He sees God as a man, so he's also a man. So there's no way these men will really have time to serve the Lord. So the problem is that the man sees himself as man and sees God as a man. If you see me as your mate, will you respect me? They don't respect God because they feel God is a man. So as long as God remains a man to them, they will not serve him. See, any man who is serving God, check his childhood. Any man is either he had parents who were so strict about worshiping God, so it became the foundation of his life. So when he became an adult, he can't depart from it. Or he encountered God himself. Or he married a woman who had the policy of serving God and told him that we must serve God together. Outside that, that man will challenge church, challenge the worship of God, challenge the policies of the church, challenge everything about God. Because of the liberty we are giving to men. So I just feel the liberty has to go out of men entirely. We must teach our young men the value of submission, not power. The moment we teach men the value of submitting to anything, then they can submit to God. We are not teaching men submission. You see a young boy talking to a woman talking to a woman anyhow. A young boy speaking to a woman anyhow, shouting. A lady who can enter a police station and then they will arrest you for free. A woman enters any place now with you and says this something, they will arrest you. If the woman complains about you now, you are finished. Talking anyhow to a lady. In the Western world, the woman just says, I was slapped. You are in jail in 5 minutes. And you are just talking to the woman anyhow, you like. Shouting, and some are even married. Talking to their wives anyhow. So the problem is a submission issue. So the moment the child man is taught submission, then he grows up to an adult, he will submit himself to God. Because if we don't have that right, you will have more women in church and less men in church. And every lady should not marry a man who is powerful. Marry a man who is submissive. That's just a man who is submissive will respect you. And a man who is submissive will serve the Lord and will care for his children. And a man who is thinking dependent, I'm a man, that's a dangerous person. A man who is always feeling dependent, I'm a man of myself, that's a very wicked human being. He will hurt his family and his children in the future. He will hurt his wife, hurt his children, destroy the fabric of the entire family for free. I'm anointed, blessed by God in so many ways. I cannot see myself do certain things. I see people who don't have anything to do. I know this guy doesn't have anything, and look at how he behaves. I cannot do that to my child or to my wife. Maybe one day. Even to anybody's child or anybody's wife. I cannot. So the thing is not manhood. The thing is how we have raised manhood. And we have to go back to correct it. Because these things, and it's deteriorating by the day. If they were 10 in church, if you check clearly in the church, if they were 10, all of a sudden you see they are 5. The man is the first person to stay at home. The man is the first person to, all manner of nonsense coming out of that. And then the women I had a conversation yesterday about a man who does not have a job. And then the woman came to see me to seek for help on behalf of the husband. I said, what is the husband? He said, he's at home. I said, go and bring him. He said, he will not come. I said, why would you come? Then he will stay like that now. He's the one that needs help. And she's the one struggling for him to be helped. He's the one that does not have sense. And he's the wife that is fighting for him to have sense. How would that kind of family grow? Have you not seen how many men who have misled their wives? Misled the destiny of their wives. You are the one who has a problem. And the woman is fighting for your future. And you are destroying it day by day. Because he was not taught submission. He was just told that the moment you become a husband, you are in charge. You are in charge. In charge. This can be a joke. The size of your head does not make it fit for leadership. Because you have a head. No. The size of your head doesn't make it fit for leadership. It is what is inside that head that makes it. So it's not whether you're a man. That thing, man, is not. To me, it's not power. What makes you a man is a lot of reasoning. You sit down to think. That's what makes you a man. And the reasoning man is a submissive man. A submissive man has a God in his life who he respects and serves God in the church with all his life.
I'm going to leave the stage now for God's servant to give his concluding remarks and also bless us for the new week.
Learn to always understand what you do and give yourself to patterned understanding. What do I mean by that? The crisis we face today in our community is because of the level of understanding we have. And people understand at the frames of the events of their lives, and that's risky. Understand purposefully, that's why I mean pattern, and deal with your life with a lot of understanding. Your pain will not be shared. Your pain in life will not be shared. When I go through pain alone. Nobody knows what I go through inside of me. And so don't allow yourself to go through certain pain in life because you did not understand on how to work with life. Life must be worked on. Learn how to work on yourself, work on people, work on your job, work on your family, and work with God. These things must be studied. And I pray that this week must not only be that week you existed, maybe the week that God really showed up for your life and give you the best. Stay peaceful in all you do. God bless you.
Gospel Manager will be back on Friday at 7 a.m. Remember, God's servant said you need understanding to live life. And when you have this understanding, you see that life is beautiful and you, my friend, can handle it. See you on Friday at 7 a.m. God bless you.